Hi everyone, welcome to Math Majestic. Today we will do class 10th chapter 3 pair of linear equations in two variables. This video is going to be the introductory video of the chapter. Here we will discuss what are linear equations in one variable, in two variable, what is the solution of the linear equation, how we can represent the linear equation graphically, and we will discuss about the system of linear equations, consistent, inconsistent. So basically this video is going to be the introduction of the chapter pair of linear equations. So linear equations is a topic with which we are familiar since class 7th. We are doing this topic in the form of simple equation. Then we went up to the linear equation in one variable in class 8. In class 9th we learned about the linear equation in two variables. So this is not a new topic for you. So let's start the topic with the very beginning. What are linear equations? As the name suggests, linear equation. Linear word itself has a meaning. The graph of the equation. The graph of the equation should move in a straight line. Linear. That means graph of this will move in a straight line. That's why we call it a linear equation. So basically the definition of linear equation is an equation of the form ax plus b equals to 0 where where a is non-zero, a and b are real numbers and x is a variable. This form of the equation is called the linear equation, in which the power of the variable is always 1 and coefficient of the variable should be non-zero, because agar a 0 ho jayega to this will not exist, this part will become 0, so only constant will remain here. So this will not be at all, there will be no variable, so this will not be called as an equation even. So an equation of the form ax plus b equals to 0 where a is non-zero, a and b are real numbers, x is variable. This type of equation is called a linear equation, in which variable has the highest power as 1. So the example of the linear equation is 3x plus 6 equals to 0. So if we simplify this, x will be equal to minus 2. Similarly, we have another equation 3y plus 6 equals to 0, and the solution of this equation will be y is equal to minus 2. So that means if we represent this equation graphically, 3x plus 6 equals to 0. So x is minus 2 here. So if we represent this, the graph of this equation will be parallel to y-axis. So if the equation is in variable x, so its graph will be parallel to y-axis. And if the equation is this is a linear equation in variable y. So y is equal to minus 2 is the solution of this equation. So the graph of this y is equal to minus 2. So this is my y-axis. So graph minus 2. That will be a line passing through minus 2 on the y-axis and will be parallel to x-axis. That means graph of the equation which is in variable x will be a line parallel to y-axis, and graph of the equation which is in variable y will be a line parallel to x-axis. So this we have done in the previous classes also. Now what is the solution of the linear equation? A value of the variable which satisfies a linear equation in one variable is known as the solution of the equation. Suppose here if we put the value y is equal to minus 2 here, so 3 into minus 2 will be minus 6. So minus 6 plus 6 will be 0. So that means this value is satisfying this equation. So we will call this as the solution of the equation. Here y is equal to minus 2 is the solution of this equation, and x is equal to minus 2 is the solution of this equation. Now this was the linear equation in one variable. Now we will discuss about the linear equation in two variable. So the general form of the linear equation in two variable is ax plus by plus c equals to 0 where a, b, c are real numbers and a and b should be non-zero. Why it is so? Because अगर आप इनमें से एक को भी 0 ले लेंगे तो that means that part will vanish. Suppose a is 0, so this will become 0 itself. So only this will reduce to the linear equation in one variable only, this much part. So that's why And similarly, if you will take b0, so the equation will be reduced to ax plus c. That will be also a equation in one variable. And दोनों ही अगर 0 आपने ले लिए, तो this will remain as a constant only, c equals to 0. That will also be 0. So if a and b are 0, then c will also be 0. So that means if ax plus by plus c, x and y are variables here, a, b, c are constants, and a and b should be non-zero. So this is the general form of the linear equation of two variable. We can sum up this condition a non-zero and b non-zero as a square plus b square not equal to 0 also, because if a and b are non-zero, so their sum cannot be 0, because if a is non-zero, suppose a is minus 3, suppose let's take a minus 3, and b non-zero, suppose let's take 5. So if a and b both are non-zero, their sum will be minus 3 square is 9 plus 5 square is 25. So their sum is 34, that is not equal to 0. So in every case when a and b are non-zero, a square plus b square must be non-zero. So we can take this condition like this also. So it doesn't matter whether you write this or this. Now we will discuss about the graph of the linear equation. Now how the graph of a linear equation in two variable will look like. The graph will look like as a straight line. The graph of the linear equation in two variable will look like a straight line. So how it is so? I'll show you how we will draw the graph of one linear equation in two variables. X plus 2y equals to 4. Suppose this is the linear equation. Now, if first we will find the pairs of x and y, which will be the solution to this equation. So let's take if x is 0, so 0. So 2y is equal to 4, so y will be 2. If you will take x2, so if x is equal to 2, so y will be 2y is यहाँ से हम y की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट कर लेते हैं पहले. So 2y will be 4 minus x, so y will be 4 minus x by 2. So if x2, so value of y will be 4 minus 2 by 2, that means 1. So similarly, if you will take as x minus 2, randomly you can take any 2, 3, 4 values. That will be sufficient. 2 or 3 values are also sufficient. So corresponding to x minus 2, you will get 4 plus 2, 6 by 2, that will y will become 3. Similarly, I have taken for x minus 1. So 5 by 2, that means 2.5. So we will find out this table like this. The pairs of x and y. Now I have taken this coordinate system. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. Now we will represent these points on the graph paper. So suppose x0 and y2. So we got this one pair as x0, y2, second pair as x2, y1, minus 2 and 3, and minus 1 and 2.5. 2 are also sufficient to do. No need to plot 4 points. 2 will be sufficient also. So if we take x02, that means x का coordinate 0 है and coordinate of y is 2. That means we will have this point. At the y-axis, x is always 0. So this is the point 0, 2. Now 2, 1. That means coordinate of x is 2 and coordinate of y is 1. So x2 and y1. So 2 की डायरेक्शन में और यहाँ से 1 के सामने. So this will be your point 2, 1. Similarly, x minus 2. This is minus 2. X-axis x minus 2 and y3. So this will be the point in front of that. So similarly, we can plot the next point. Minus 1 पे 2.5 है, तो 2.5 will be somewhere between 2 and 3. So it will be up to here. So now, if we join these 4 points, so we will find out the linear equation in the graph of the linear equation. So we will join these 4 points with the help of scale. So you will find out that graph of this is a straight line. So if you will take any linear equation in two variables, the graph of that equation will be a straight line all the time. Now, what is the solution of the differential equation, linear equation in two variable? The coordinates of every point on the line representing a linear equation determines a solution of the equation. देखिए, We have made the graph of this linear equation. So the coordinates of every point on the line, इस line पर आप कहीं पर भी कोई भी point ले लीजिए, this, anywhere on this line. Infinite points lie on a line because the line क्या होती है, if we join the point infinite points, that becomes a line. So that means every point on this line is a solution of the linear equation represented by this graph. So if you take this point, this, anywhere, every point on this graph will be a solution to the linear equation x plus 2y equals to 4. Okay. So that's why we say that there are infinite solution of a linear equation in two variable, because the line may contain infinite points in it. Now the next topic is system of simultaneous linear equations. What are system of linear equation? A pair of linear equation in two variables is said to form a system of linear equations. If we take two linear equations simultaneously, or more than two also you can take, so that pair is called system of simultaneous linear equation. Simultaneous means the solution of these linear equation will be one pair which will satisfy the both. So a pair of linear equation is said to form system of linear equation like this. This is the example of the system of linear equation. These two equations both are the linear equation two variable. If we take them together, we call it a system of linear equation. So in generally, if we talk about the system of linear equation, so the general notation for that is a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals to 0. a1, b1, c1 are constants, x and y are variables. Similarly, second equation is a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals to 0, where a2, b2 and c2 are the constants and x and y are the variables. And the condition for the linear equation is constants should be non-zero, a1 and b1 should be non-zero, a2 and b2 should be non-zero, or you can write a1 square plus a2 square non-zero, b1 square plus b2 square non-zero. This kind of representation is called algebraic representation of the system of linear equations. So this kind of system of linear equation, this kind of representation is called algebraic representation. So there are two type of representation of a system of linear equations basically. One is algebraic representation and the second one is graphical representation. So algebraic representation we have done. So we will be given some simple daily life situations and we have to convert them into the algebraic representation of the linear equation. Now what will be the solution of this system? Because one equation का solution की तो हमने बात की that the value, the point lying on the graph is called the solution. So if the two equations are given, so the pair of values of the variable x and y which satisfy each one of the equation, दोनों इक्वेशन को जो वैल्यू x और y की सेटिस्फाई करेगी, दैट विल बी कॉल्ड द सॉल्यूशन ऑफ द सिस्टम ऑफ इक्वेशन. दोनों का जो कॉमन सॉल्यूशन होगा दैट विल बी कॉल्ड द सॉल्यूशन ऑफ द इक्वेशन. वेदर देयर आर टू इक्वेशंस, 3, 4, एनी नंबर ऑफ इक्वेशंस में बी गिवन, सो जो वैल्यू उन सबको सेटिस्फाई करेगी दैट विल बी कॉल्ड द solution of the system of linear equations. For example, if I will show you the one example system of linear equation, we will simplify this example that whether this is the solution of this or not. So 3x, first equation is 3x minus 2y equals to 4 and the second equation is 2x plus y equals to 5. We will justify whether x2 and y1 is a solution of this system of linear equation. So we will put both the values one by one in both the equations. Whether they are satisfying them or not, we will check it out. So first equation is 3x plus 2y minus 2y equals to 4. So x is 2. In place of x we will replace 2. In place of y we will replace 1. So we will get 6 minus 2, that is 4, and that is equal to right hand side. So that means left side is equal to right side here. So that means 2 is the x2 and y1. This is solution of first equation. Okay, now we will find out whether it satisfies the second also. Second equation is 2x plus y equals to 5. So if we put x2 and y1 here, so we will get 2 to the 4 plus 1, 5. That is also right side. So that means x1, x2 and y1. This is solution of second equation also. दोनों का solution है. That means this is the solution of given system of linear equations. Because दोनों equation को satisfy कर रहा है तो दोनों का ही solution होगा. So we will call it solution of the system of linear equation. I hope this point will be clear to you. If you have any doubt, you can put your doubts in the comment section. So I will resolve your queries. Now we will move towards the next point, system of linear equation. Now we have the system of linear equation. So, but it is not necessary always that this will be the solution of this system of linear equation. It is not necessary that always there will be one solution of the system of linear equation. There may be more than one solution, or there may be no solution for the linear equations also. There may be some system of linear equation जिसमें कोई भी ऐसा solution exist ना करे जो सब equations को satisfy करता हो, या ऐसा भी हो सकता है there may be more than one solutions. That means more set of values may satisfy all the equations. So basically we will categorize this as the system of linear equation, solution of system of linear equation as consistent linear equations और inconsistent. Consistent में कौन कौन सी categories आएंगी, जिसमें which the equation system of equation which have at least one solution, कम से कम एक solution जरूर exist करे. So we will call the system of linear equation consistent at that time. अगर एक भी solution exist करता है तो we will call it consistent set of equations. And इसके अंदर अब एक भी solution means there may be one solution or there may be more than one solution. As we done the above example, there is only one solution, so that means we may call it unique solution also. And if there are more than one solution, we will call it infinitely many solutions also may exist, more than one also may exist. So there may be different situations. So at least one solution should exist. So there may be unique or infinite many solutions. And if there is no solution to the system of linear equation, we call them inconsistent system of linear equation. So consistent basically means which have a solution. Inconsistent system means which doesn't have a solution. Consistent में दो categories आ सकती हैं, unique और infinite solutions. Alright, so now we will learn the graphical representation of the system of linear equations. So I will show you one example. Now this is the example, graphical representation of the linear equation. So basically we are given a practical problem, and first we will convert this problem into algebraic system. We will represent this as algebraic system of linear equation. So 10 students of class 10 took part in maths quiz. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, represent this situation in both ways. So one way is algebraic representation and the second one is graphical representation. So 10 students of class 10 took part in maths quiz. So total students are 10 here. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, so we can formulate basically two equations here. One, first we will represent, let x represents number of girls and y represents number of boys. X represents girls and y represents boys. So because total 10 students are given, that means x plus y, girls plus boys, is equal to 10. So we got the first equation from here. And now if the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, girls are 4 more than the number of boys, That means girls are represented by X. They are 4 more than the number of boys. The boys are Y. So that means if we add 4 in the number of boys, so we will get them equal. Girls and boys will be equal because girls are more than boys. So we have to add 4 in the boys section so that the strength will be equal. So we got basically 2 equations here. We will convert this in the general form. That will be, we'll shift variable on one side and constant on the other side. So equation 1 is x plus y equals to 10, and equation 2 we got x minus y equal to 4. This representation is called algebraic representation. Now we will represent them graphically, this system of linear equation. So first we have to find the solutions of both the equations. First equation is x plus y equals to 10. So first we will find out their values. If we take x 0, so y will be x 0, then y will be 10. If we take y 0, then x will be 10. So only 2 are also sufficient. You can take one more if you want. If x 5 we will take, so y will be also 5. So now similarly we will represent this. So we got basically the pairs of 0 10, 10 0, 5 5. And similarly if we draw the like this, x minus y equals to 4. Second equation is this. If we find out the values of this also, okay, if we take x as, we can take any values here. If you take x 0, then y will be minus 4. And if you take y 0, so x will be 4. 2 values are also sufficient, as I say again and again. So now we will draw them graphically, represent their graphs. First equation is x plus y 10, and the pairs are 0 10, 10 0 and 5 5. So first we will plot these points. So this is the Cartesian plane where we have to represent these points. So in this Cartesian plane, देखिए, first point is 0 10. So x 0, that means this origin where x and y are 0, y 10 will be this point. This point is 0 10. And then next point is 10 0. That means x ordinate is 10, y ordinate is 0. So x ordinate is 10 and x axis पर y 0 होता है. So this is the point 10 0. So third point is 5 5. So x 5 and y 5. So we will find out this point almost. You can represent this on graph paper also. So for perfect representation you should use the graph paper. So here you in the exam you will get the graph paper. So this straight line will represent first equation, that is x plus y equals to 10. Now we will represent the second equation. The coordinates of the second equation are x 0, y minus 4, that means 0 minus 4, and if x 4 then y 0. You can take one more point if you are comfortable. Suppose let's take x 2. If x 2, so y will be minus 2. If x 2, so minus y will be 2, so y will be minus 2. So now third pair will be 2 minus 2. So let's represent it now. So x 0, y minus 4, this is the point x 0 and y minus 4. X 4 and y 0 will be point on the x-axis, and x 2 and y minus 2 will be a point here. X 2 and y will be minus 2. So we got these 3 points. We will join them by a straight line. So you will find out that graph of the second equation is also a straight line. This is represented by x minus y equals to 4. So this is the graph of these two equations. So now graphical representation we have done. So we have to find, just it was asked to represent this situation, so we have represented. So by this method you can draw any graph of any of the linear equation. You can plot the points, you can find out the solution exists or not. So in this video we will do up to here. This was the basic knowledge which was required for the understanding of the concept further. So in the next video we will do the graphical representation, graphical solutions of the linear equation. So that means we will learn basically how you can find the solution of the linear equation by using the graphical method, and then we will do about the find out the solutions by algebraic method. So both we will do in the coming videos. So if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. If you like my videos and my videos are helpful for you, so please like, subscribe and share. Thank you very much.